Hello students, how are you? I'm Purnima and once again I welcome you to my class of English. I hope you all are safe and fine in your house and you must be working very hard as your unit test is going on. But children, at the same time we have to revise a lot of things. Today I'm going to continue with the same lesson, that is a clause. Okay, so we will be once again in touch with clauses. Okay, before starting clauses, let me tell you, let me revise you once again about three things, that is phrase, clause and sentence. In fact, I will be starting sentence, phrase and clause in a proper sequence. Okay, so student, sentence, let me start with the sentence. What is a sentence? It is a group of words which makes a complete meaning, and it always starts with a capital letter, ends with the punctuation mark. So this is actually the definition of a, not exactly the definition of a sentence, but the characteristic of a sentence. So once again I revise, what is a sentence? Student, a group of words which make a complete sense, and children, it always start with a capital letter, it always end with the punctuation mark. Like children, in the what to say, children, in the interrogative sentence, the sentence is completed with the marks of interrogation. In imperative sentence and in assertive sentence, the sentence is completed with the marks of full stop. Then children, we have some exclamatory words, exclamatory marks after the words of exclamatory sentence. So student, this is what a sentence is. Okay, the other main characteristic of a sentence is that it has a children, one, at least one finite verb. It should always a sentence and both, children, even a clause. Okay, sentence can have more than finite verb also. That means I mean to say it has at least one finite verb. Okay, so I hope this characteristic of sentence is very much clear to you. So what is a sentence? What is a sentence, student? A group of words which make a complete sense. It has a characteristic of three things. First, it should always have a finite verb. Second, it should always start with the capital letter. So children, it always have a at least one finite verb. It can have more than one finite verb also. And children, a sentence should have children, it should always start with a capital letter and ends with the punctuation mark. So don't forget this now. Now children, in the second part, now we are coming to phrase. So I have explained phrase also in my previous video. This is only for your revision so that you will not forget it, because these are the basic concept has to be clear, children. Otherwise you will not able to do the main thing, the main lesson, that is the clauses. So now what is a phrase, student? So phrase is a part of a sentence and it makes a partial sense. Partial sense means not a complete sense. It makes only some sense. And children, it don't have finite verb. The main characteristic of a phrase, it don't have finite verb. It don't have a subject of its own, and then it's a part of a sentence. So phrase is also clear to you. Now we will come to our main topic, clause. Okay, so a group of word, what is a clause? A group of word that forms a part of sentence. A group of words that forms a part of sentence. Okay, and it has a subject also and it has a finite verb also. Remember this thing, it has a subject also and it has a finite verb also. Okay, that finite verb is its own, is its own. Then it is known as clause. So what is a clause? It is a group of sentence. Okay, and in this group of sentence, children, it have a complete meaning also. That group of, it's a part of a sentence. That means some group of words which are a part of a sentence and it has a complete sense, complete meaning, and it also have its subjects and finite verb of its own. That this is known as clause. This is known as clause. Okay, so I have discussed all the three things with you: phrase, clause and sentence, right? Phrase, clause and sentence. This I have explained you. All right. Now children, once again I repeat clause, because if you will not know, now my topic will be how many types of clauses will be there. So adjective clause will be there, then children adverb clauses will be there, noun clauses will be there. Okay, so children, clause is clear to you? It's a group of words, okay, and it is a part of a sentence. That means clause is a part of a sentence in the form of a group of words. It has its subjects of its own, it has a finite verb, and it makes a complete sense. Okay, so this is the meaning of clause. Now children, I will be telling you how many types of clauses are there. So three important clause which I will be teaching you today is adjective clause, noun clause and adverb clause. Okay, so these are the three important clause which I will be teaching you today. Now I have written two sentence, children, on the board. Okay, and we will read this both the sentences here. So one is, we need a teacher with 2 years of teaching experience. You can see with 2 years of teaching experience is underlined. It is underlined. With 2 years of teaching experience. Okay, with 2 years of teaching experience. Now children, if you will see the first sentence, you will see with 2 years of teaching experience is a part of a sentence. What is it? It is a part of a sentence, but it don't have finite verb and it don't have subject, and it is having some sense. It is making some sense. With 2 years of teaching experience, so it is making some sense. So what is it? It is a phrase. It is a phrase. And children, since it is telling about a noun, it is describing a noun with 2 years. Okay, this is describing a noun, so this is an adjective phrase. This is an adjective phrase. Now children, we will see the second part of the second sentence. We will see, and let's read what is written. We need a teacher who has 2 years teaching experience. Who has 2 years, you can see I have underlined it. Who has 2 years teaching experience. Okay, who has 2 years. Who has 2 years teaching experience. Okay. Now children, it is describing a noun. Who. It is describing the subject who. And children, it has the finite verb has. It is describing the subject who. Okay, since the description of the subject is there, so it is an adjective. Who is a subject, and children, finite verb has is also there in this sentence. So this is a what? Adjective clause. This is a adjective clause. Okay, so just try to remember this thing, children. Both phrase and adjective phrase and adjective clause. Children, both are a part of a sentence. You can see I have underlined these part of a sentence. Phrase is also a part of a sentence. It don't have subject, it don't have finite verb, but it is making some sense. Okay, and this is also a part of sentence. This is also a part of sentence. Okay, now we need a teacher who has 2 years teaching experience. Now children, here who is subject has is finite verb. Has is finite verb. So this is clause, because what is the definition of a clause? It is a part of a sentence. So the whole sentence is we need a teacher who has 2 years teaching experience. Okay, and what is clause? Who has 2 years teaching experience. So this is a part of a sentence. Okay, this is a part of a sentence, student. And children, who is a subject here and has is a finite verb here. Okay, has is a finite verb here. So children, when a group of word, when it is a part of a sentence and it is a subject and it is a finite verb, then it is a clause. And since this who is being described by adjective, 2 years of teaching experience is a adjective. Okay, it is showing number, adjective of number, 2 years. All right, so this is an adjective clause. Okay, so now children, you have to write what is an adjective clause. What is an adjective clause? All right, so we can say children, I am going to dictate and you will write it. A clause that acts as an adjective. A clause that acts as an adjective is a adjective clause. Is an adjective clause. Okay, so this is the main thing of the adjective clause, which I have just now told you. Is adjective clause is a part of a, it's a group of words, it's a part of a sentence, it has a subject, it has at least one finite verb. Okay, that subject, when it is described by something, then it will become adjective clause. So I hope you have understood. Now my topic will be adjective clause. Okay, children, once again I have written something on the board and you have to note it down. First of all, I have written what is an adjective clause. So what is an adjective clause? A clause that acts as an adjective. A clause that acts as an adjective in a sentence is an adjective clause. So a clause which acts as an adjective in a sentence is a adjective clause. Okay, and children, it describes a noun. It describes a noun. It answers the question which one. This is very important, children, because now I am telling you about adjective clause also. But when you will be studying so many clauses like adverb clause and then noun clause, so sometimes children we get confused. So you know how we confirm that it is an adjective clause? Children, we ask the question which one. Okay, we ask the question relating to the subject, that which one. All right, so this is a if you will ask a question relating to the subject which one, then it would be an adjective clause. Okay, so now it is clear, children. An adjective clause describes a noun. Okay, it describes a noun and it usually answers the question which one. And I told you the definition of clause. A clause that acts as an adjective in a sentence is a adjective clause. Okay, which acts as an adjective in a sentence, that means which do the work of adjective in a sentence, that is an adjective clause. Okay, so it describes a noun. It describes a noun. It usually answer the question which one. It usually answer the question which one, right? Children, I will be giving the example which I gave you yesterday. It would be easier for you to understand. So what example I gave you? The boy who is wearing a blue shirt. Did you remember the example? The boy who is wearing a blue shirt is my brother. The boy who is wearing a blue shirt is my brother. Now children, answer the question. You take this children, take the subject. What is the subject here? Boy. So put answer. Which boy? Which boy? The answer automatically will come to you. Who is wearing a blue shirt? So who is wearing a blue shirt? It is describing the subject boy. So it is an adjective clause. Okay. Now, so children, this is clear to you. A clause that acts as an adjective in a sentence is called an adjective clause. An adjective clause describes a noun and it usually answers the question which one. Like children, I have told you just now, I have told you another example I've given you. We need a teacher who has 2 years teaching experience. We need a teacher who has 2 years teaching experience. We need a teacher who has 2 years of teaching experience. So children, ask the question which teacher? Which teacher? Okay, with the help of the subject you frame a question which teacher, and the answer will be the teacher who has 2 years of experience. Who has 2 years of experience, that means it is describing the subject teacher. Okay, so this is a noun clause. Sorry, an adjective clause. Now children, an adjective clause, this is, you have to write it down, this is very important. An adjective clause is usually introduced by the word who, whose, whom, which and that. This 5 word, try to learn it. Okay, try to learn these 5 words. What are these 5 words? Children, who, whose, whom, which and that. Okay, so an adjective clause is usually introduced by the word who, whose, whom, which and that. Okay, now I will be showing you some of the example. I will be showing to you student. Now once again I have given some notes on the board and you have to note it down, student. Okay, an adjective clause is usually introduced with the words who, which, whom, whose, that. Generally children, these are the subjects in the adjective clause. And I told you the adjective clause must have at least one subject and one finite verb. Now children, who, which, whom, whose and that. Children, generally adjective clause is usually introduced by these. And children, who is for living thing and which is for non-living thing. Who is for living thing and which is for non-living thing. Now children, let me give you the, and children, sometime some of the words are written here as, when, where. As, when, where. Okay, sometimes the adjective clause also start with this word. It also carry this word as a subjects. Okay, now children, I will give you one example. I will read one example. I have no respect for those. Just listen. I have no respect for those people who don't keep their promises. Now children, I don't have respect for those people who don't keep their promises. Now this is whole one sentence. This is a one sentence. Now children, we will read who don't keep their promises. Now this is a part of this whole sentence. Okay, what is the part? Who don't keep their promises. So children, here who is a subject here, and children don't keep is a finite verb here. Don't keep is a finite verb here. Okay, and children, you can see here who is referring to the living people. Okay, not non-living things, it is referring to the living thing. I have no respect for those people who don't keep their promises. Okay, so here children, who is generally, not generally, it is always used with the living thing. Now let's see how which is used. As I told you, which is used with non-living thing, which is used with non-living thing. Okay, like children, I was telling you, the magistrate clearly proved his innocence. Okay, one sentence I have told, the magistrate clearly proved his innocent. Okay, he is the magistrate which clearly prove his innocence. So here we will not use which, what we will use? Here we will use who, because magistrate is a non-living thing, or living thing is a living thing, and when living thing is there, we will never use which. We will what to be used? Which subject we are going to use? We are going to use, children, who. Alright. Now, children, where refer to the place. Now let me tell you some important subject. Where refer to the place. Like, I remember the place. Look at this sentence. I remember the place where some robbers attacked me. I remember the place where some robbers attacked me. Now children, where refers to place, and children, here adjective clause is introduced by the subject where. Okay, here adjective clause is introduced by the subject where. Okay, so children, these are some of the points, important points related with the adjective clause. So adjective clause describe a noun. It usually answer the question which one, and here children, one is referring to the subject here. So remember that. What does adjective clause do? It do the works of a noun, and it usually the answer the question which one. Okay, and I've given one or two example before also. So this is clear to you or not? Now few more example I will be, few more point related with adjective clause I will be teaching to you people. Now student, one other important point related with adjective clause is that it should be placed as close. It should be placed as close as possible to the noun. It should be placed as close as possible to the noun it describes. The effort should be to place in next to the noun it describes. So children, what is an adjective clause should be placed as close as possible to the noun. What is the noun? The adjective clause should be placed with the noun, because children, it is the adjective clause which is describing the noun. That's why it should be placed near to the noun, and the effort should be to place it next to the noun it describes. Now children, if there one or two nouns are there in a sentence, So you have to make sure that the noun which it is describing, that then there it should be placed close to it. Okay. Now children, I hope you have understood about clause, about adjective clause, what is phrase, what is sentence. And now I am going to give you few sentence, and you have to pick out what is the adjective clause in those sentence. You have to tell first of all whether clause is there or not, and which, if it is adjective clause, then what is the clause in that sentence. Okay. So I am going to do that thing. Okay. Now children, here I have written one sentence. A man who looked tired and hungry walked to his place. A man who looked tired and hungry walked to its place. Okay, a man who looked tired and hungry walked to its place. A man who looked tired and hungry walked to its place. Now children, this is a sentence. Okay. Now I have underlined who looked tired and hungry. So children, who is describing what? Which subject? What is the subject here? The main subject is man. Okay. And children, who is describing the man? Man. It is a pronoun. The main subject noun is a man, and who is also a subject. Okay. And it is describing which? It is describing who? It is who is describing man. Man is a subject here. And who is also a subject here. Who looked tired and hungry. Now children, look tired and hungry, that means tired and hungry describing whom? It is describing who, and who is indirectly describing a man noun. Okay, so in fact tired and hungry is a word which is used to describe a man. Okay, so children, here children, can you see what is a noun clause here? Who looked tired and hungry walked to its place. So this is a noun, adjective clause. And children, what is a subject here? Who, and looked is a, what is looked? Looked is a finite verb here. Okay, so this is an adjective clause because who is describing the noun, and what it is describing? Look tired and hungry. It looked tired and hungry. Okay. God help those who help themselves. If I will underline the word who help themselves, so this would be your adjective clause. Why? Because it is describing a subject. Who is a subject, and children, it is also describing who helped themselves. Okay, and children, it is having one finite verb, help. So children, who help themselves. Who is a subject, help is a finite verb, and children, who help themselves is a adjective clause. Because clause is not, clause can never be a full sentence. It can be only a part of sentence. So God help those who help themselves. Who help themselves is a part of a sentence. Okay. Now, one more thing. People who have never seen a play on the stage have missed a great experience. People who have never seen a play on the stage have missed a great experience. So children, people who have never seen a play on the stage have missed a great experience. Children, it is a what? It is a full sentence. And children, a play on the stage have missed a great experience. Children, in this sentence, who have never seen a play on the stage have missed a great experience. So who is a subject here, and have is a finite verb here. So this is a adjective clause. And children, with this I conclude my video here, because and tomorrow two types of clauses I will be teaching you more. Okay, adverb clause and the other one, the noun clause. Okay, so with this I leave. I wish you all the best for your paper, and thank you and have a nice day ahead.